Hi everyone, it's me, the Booknester again. And I don't have a book haul, and I don't have what I'm currently reading, and I don't have a review. But what I do have is a response to Ms. Lianne over at Literary Diversions, who asked the question about how do you book journal. I thought I'd put a short little video together kind of showing how I journal. I've been journaling since about 2003, and it has changed and morphed. But I've enjoyed it because I can reach back and get a journal that I've had back in 2003, and I can see what I was reading on, I don't know, September of 2014, and I was reading the Memoirs of an Imaginary Friend. Great book, by the way. But it also tells me what my son was reading in 2005. That summer he really read a lot, and it was great because he had started with Harry Potter, he had been reading the series of Unfortunate Events, and even in that same year he read his first reading of The Fellowship of the Rings. So that was really kind of cool to have that noted, and it's forever in this little book for me to keep. I do use Goodreads, and I use Book Digits and all of that to kind of keep track of what I want to read, what I'm currently reading, and I do reviews on all those. But these are my own personal reviews, and what's kind of interesting is when I first started this journal, you can look at it and you can tell that I was using it like Goodreads, just listing what I'd read, maybe gave a star rating if I liked it or not, and where I got it from, because whether it was a gift or I got it from the library. Then it morphed into more of what I use Goodreads now for, which is the actual reviews, and so they got a little bit longer and more of my opinions. I'm not using this so much anymore. This is now kind of done, and I now use a different type of journaling. And I actually put my reading journal in with my everyday journal, which has all my dreams, all my aspirations, all my plans and schemes. Don't look. And it's great because I can come back and see where I was at and what all was going on in my life, because it's paired with the reading is paired with what's going on in my life according to the journal. So as you can tell, I just kind of, create a page and I add things as I'm reading. So that's basically what I do for my book journal, but what I wanted to show you was how do I actually journal while I'm reading. So I don't stop and run and go get a pen and paper and kind of break that moment. But I also don't wait to the end of the book either. I actually do it where I read for a while, and if there's anything I'm going to want to journal later, once I get done with that reading session, for a lack of a better word, I can then add it into my journal. And what I found is I don't lose those really important quotes or moments in the story that I want to remember, whereas I would had I waited to the very end. So I'm not going to keep you in suspense because I'm sure you're just dying to see what my journaling's like. So we're going to get right to it. So here I've opened up a book to show you how I use the post-it notes. If you look up to the top right-hand corner of the BFG, you'll see a little yellow post-it note. Now I put that next to whatever quote or area of the book that's of interest, something I might want to journal about later. If you look over to the other side onto Mr. Tolstoy's book, you'll see that there are 4 yellow 1-inch post-it notes. The reason they're on the front of the book is that after I'm done reading, it typically is going to be a quote that I want to share in some format. This might be Goodreads or it might be on Twitter. It's something I want to share that I just experienced in that book with the rest of the book community. I use a lot of sticky notes and a lot of post-it notes, but that is because typically I have library books and I can't write in them. I also have some favorite books of mine as well, but if you look in this picture, I have where I'm using both sticky notes and also underlining in the book, and that's because I'm really letting myself almost treat this book as a study. I'm trying to really enjoy and remember this book. So Anna Karenina is going to be a long read for me. And I'm not really sure that if I wait until the end of the book to go back and journal, if I'd remember everything. This way I can do periodic journal entries. The next part, just quickly to show you, is that I store or keep my post-it notes to the front of each book. I kind of use that as a dashboard. When I go to read, I can quickly open up the book, see how many post-it notes are there, and then know if I need to add some more before leaving or before sitting down to read. Again, everything is designed just so that I can just read and enjoy the book, mark a spot, and then later on come back and look at it if that's what I choose to do. So as you can see, I have my book, my journal, my post-it notes, and my pens, and my cup of tea. So here are those journal entries. All those sticky notes put into an entry that I could go back so that I can remember what I experienced and was thinking while I was reading that book. I hope you enjoyed this. It's a little bit of a peek into this crazy mind of mine, but it's also another way to be a part of a book even after you're finished with it. So I hope you found it helpful, and now it's time for me to head off and keep reading the BFG.